My name is Ayanda Larkin-Harrison. I am originally from Mafikeng in a little village called Lumanyaning. I'm a mother of two. My son is 12 and he's autistic, and my daughter's 13. I'm an advocate for autism. Having a diagnosis of autism within a family is very isolating. You tend to lose friends, you tend to lose family. I've lost a husband as a result. So you then become really isolated from the community and isolated from your friends, because you have a child that exhibits difficult behaviors and that can be explosive at any time without any given trigger. And people are genuinely scared, and people tend to then shy away from you, and you become isolated, and the rest of your family becomes isolated because the sibling can't have friends around because the parents are too scared of the other child. And it's also socially, it hasn't been accepted as yet. So the idea around this advocacy is to get that social awareness and create an acceptance of children like my son. My son is he's nonverbal, so he used to have words, and he was meeting all his milestones, and it came to about the age of 2.5 when it just stopped, and there was no longer any verbal communication. He's very sensory, so he's got a lot of sensory issues that affect him, and those sensory issues build up, and they cause anxiety, and that anxiety then probably translates into behaviours, and those behaviours tend to be difficult behaviours, where he'll hit, he'll scream, he'll bite, he'll throw, so you never know what to expect, but you get to know your child, and you get to learn that you avoid certain situations, you avoid certain environments, you reduce every possible thing that you know as mum is going to impact them, just to make his life and everyone else's life a lot easier. It's been very difficult. We started it last year, and it's just to get the initial funding in place, just to get people to actually talk to us about autism, because people go, oh, autism, oh, your child must be very clever. And you go, I don't know, maybe. So there is that I guess, ignorance when it comes to what is autism and why is it such a big deal. Because you've got the likes of Elon Musk who are autistic, but they are, I mean, look at him, he's flying. And so everyone assumes that everyone is like Elon Musk. So those have been the challenges that we've faced. We've just faced challenges around people understanding why there's a need for something like this to be out there, and for women especially to be supported, because women they're the ones that carry everything at the end of the day. They're the ones that are the primary caregivers especially for children with autism. So it's trying to get that support in place for them, but the challenges or barriers that we're facing is that people just don't understand it, so they're not open to listening to us. They should know that there's nothing wrong with them. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them, and they're just children. And if they can just take a step back and put themselves in that mother's shoes, that's what that mother goes through every single day. You're seeing a snippet of that person's life. So just step back, they're a child, and help in whatever way you can. If it's grabbing that mother's shopping bags and saying, can I take this to the car for you whilst you manage that? Taking the other child, if there's a sibling, saying, let me handle this for you for a second, so mum can then focus on the child that's perhaps in distress at that point. And the distress is not coming from a bad place. The distress is coming from a place where they cannot manage. And that's why those all behaviors are a form of communication. So they're communicating something to everyone around them, that I'm struggling. So that's the one, they are not sick. They're just different. So on the 24th, we're launching our NPO, and in the launch, we're having a panel of young autistic experts. So what we're trying to achieve as Vuyolethu is we're trying to be led by autistic people. So have their voices be the steer, I guess, in our organization. So we have a panel of young autistic people that are experts, because I'm not, as last time I checked, I wasn't autistic, but I don't think I'm autistic, so I can't speak eloquently enough for another autistic person. So we're having them relay their stories and tell us exactly what it is that they go through, exactly how they would like to be supported. So we have that panel of them, talking to educators, talking to families, talking to the community, to say to them, guys, this is what we would like. Please help us with this, support us in doing X, Y, and Z. So we have that panel there. We've got a specialist, a doctor coming in to talk to the community as well, to say, especially around the issue of early intervention, because the earlier you can intervene, the better it is for that young person, and the better it is for the family, because they then have the support in place and they can then continue moving forward as a family. If you wait too long, it becomes difficult. It just doesn't help. So we have a doctor coming in to talk about early intervention. The event is being held at a hospital, in Germiston, and some of the therapists from the hospital will be there as well. So they'll be also sharing about. So we're looking at having an occupational therapist, a speech and language therapist, just to talk to families about what services are available, what support they can expect to receive from there. And then we have a second panel, and that panel consists of parents. Parents are talking about their experiences and how their children are and what they would like people to know about their children. The long-term plan is, and this is many years away from now, but I would like to see change in policy. I would like to see things being made law. And that will be stuff with regards to schooling, so that there are things in school that schools legally have to adhere to support a child. Because a lot of the time schools go, this is too hard. You have to leave, you have to go to a specialist school. They don't need to go to a specialist school. There's small tweaks that school need to do, and if school can do those tweaks, that child can remain in mainstream school and reduce that level of isolation, to say, you're not one of us, you go over there with the rest of them. So it's that whole inclusivity thing. That's, I think, for me, that is the biggest thing that I want to achieve out of Vuyolethu, is to have these children integrated into society and for it not to be taboo. And if you say my child's autistic, they go, oh, okay. 1956 was all about advocacy. It was all about perseverance. And I think this is exactly what, being in my situation, that's exactly what I'm doing. There's a passion and you're acting on it. And you're not just sitting back and saying, oh, there's nothing I can do. And even though the little that you're doing might not seem to have an immediate impact, it has a ripple effect. And that ripple effect eventually grows into a big wave. And that's what happened in 1956. And I think that's a correlation between the two themes.